Hi, I'm Rika Mason. I'm from Eastern College, Australia. It's a higher education institution where part of our offerings is to teach pre-service teachers. So we run a graduate diploma of education, which is in its final year, plus a Bachelor of Education for both primary and secondary. And I've been teaching there for about 8 years, 9 years. So I've got the privilege of talking with you and leading you through a workshop on thinking professionally by thinking creatively. And the idea of this workshop is not so much that we think, do the usual tasks that we do when we think professionally and we're trying to think creatively. So, we've got a production to put on, or we're going to develop a new way of teaching music, or we're going to put a camp together, or whatever. We're going to teach in an open classroom. And so we sit down and we do perhaps the SWOT things, or we do brainstorming or mind mapping or thinking things through and talking things through and so forth. It's a little bit different to that. It's the idea of thinking very creatively, but using creative tools or creative activities that are not necessarily directly related to the task at hand. And it's based on the work of Winters, and I'll put some work up from him, where he was working actually with nurses and social workers in postgraduate work, where he was getting them to use short story writing to write stories about dogs and cats and people and spies and superpowers and lovers and whatever people chose to write. And as they shared their writing in their classes, their colleagues were able to help them unpack some deep thinking and some deep values and some deep ideas that they had about their own work, about their social work or their nursing or their police work. I think he also worked with police officers. So that they could unpack some important themes that mightn't come up as we work in a conscious way, or perhaps more in a left brain way, but come up when we start thinking and doing something that is more right brain. And so which could be painting, it could be music, it could be dance, it could be story writing, it could be playwriting, it could be many things. It could be collage and crafts, it could be woodwork, it could be gardening, many things. So the idea that I want to do with you is for you to think about something in your profession that is meaningful to you, not a task. We all have to write curricula, we all have to do assessments, we all have to do those things, and perhaps those are things that in fact you are passionate about. But perhaps they're things that they're simply tools of your trade. But what are you passionate about? The children that don't learn well. Is it perhaps children who are gifted and in the regular classroom we're really not tapping those kids or allowing those kids to fly? What about kids in your class that might be autistic or might just be really difficult to manage? Parents that might be difficult for you and make your life tough. It could be something like career transition. Do you really want to go into the office and eventually become a principal or in that administrative role? Or do you want to remain in teaching? Would you like to do further education so that you can go into a university and teach teachers? All of those sorts of things. Is there something that is that sort of sits in your stomach, if you like, in your psychic stomach all the time, that is important to you? When I do this activity with my students, that they are in their last semester of class before they graduate and then go out for teaching. And we talk about, just give them the simple topic, well, simple to us, of where, tell me about primary education from your heart, that type of thing. And then we come together, they'll paint something, or they'll write a song, or they'll write a poem, or they'll bring a craft work. One lady brought a quilt that she had made. Um, One man put a beautiful staircase together, small staircase in sculpture, wooden sculpture together, all sorts of different things. And then they explain their creative piece to their colleagues, and then we have a debrief with the colleagues about that. But I can't give you a particular topic. So when these almost teachers talk about primary teaching, that is a very important thing for them. But you may have a different topic. So really, to start off with, the idea is that you find that thing within yourself that is important, that you struggle with every day, that you come against every day, that you have a springboard off every day, that when you write anything for your children, when you deliver work, when you work with your colleagues, there is something that is important. And it's that important thing that I want you to consider before you come to this workshop. And so I'm going to that's the introduction, and then in the next video I'm going to explain a little bit more about what I would like you to do in that creative space. Thank you.